For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctor's Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctor's Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus. 18th of May, visit christian.ky for more information.
We ask our listeners and viewers to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Live from Radio Cayman Studio.
This is For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
With Orrett Connor.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is For the Record.
For the Record. 1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Orrett Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is Monday, the 29th day of April 2024, right here in the beautiful Cayman Islands. We do hope and we trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on our roads, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Remember to observe the rules of the road, because if you do so, the life you save may just be your own. For those of you who are celebrating a birthday today, or if you've celebrated one over the past few days, we want to wish you a happy birthday. And to remind you that this segment of For the Record, birthday shoutouts brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shoutouts. Coca-Cola is available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Those of you who have lost loved ones, again, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these extremely challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing. Those of you who are ill and are either at home or at a medical facility here in the Cayman Islands or overseas, we wish you a speedy recovery. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy and sometimes dangerous roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Orrett Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. until 10 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open. Of course, again, this morning, it is that beautiful radio voice of Susan Watson waiting to take your calls. You can call on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at talktooc@gmail.com. WhatsApp us, 925-32 61. You can call us on that number as well. You follow us on YouTube. Do that simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. So we welcome you to join with us in the conversation. This morning we will have guests in the studio. Later on, again, talking about the National Health Strategy and the public consultation dealing with the National Health Strategy. We will have the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Nick Gent, in the studio, along with the Chief Nursing Officer, Ms. Felicia McLean, as well. So let's look at the birthday shout-outs that we will be extending today. So we see that Ms. Marge Rich is celebrating her birthday today. Yesterday, Leon Caldero celebrated his birthday. Paul Biles celebrated a birthday yesterday, as well as Miss Esther Anderson also celebrated birthday. Coming up in May, which is not too far away, Lindbergh Dilbert will be celebrating a birthday on the 1st of May. Timothy Adam will be also celebrating a birthday on the 1st of May, as well as Matthew Leslie celebrating a birthday on the 1st of May also. If you know someone who is celebrating a birthday or any other momentous occasion, please share their details with us here on For the Record, and we will give them a shout out. Based on the feedback that we're getting, many of our listeners are enjoying and appreciate the shout outs as far as birthdays and other special occasions are concerned. Takes us back to the old days when it was done on a regular basis on Radio Cayman, as well as other radio stations when our seamen could listen on those shortwave radios as well on board ships, and birthday greetings were sent out to them, or they in turn sent birthday greetings to their family members, at home as well. So we try to keep the Cayman tradition going here on Radio Cayman. We know that there are people who tell us that we can't live in the past, but if you don't know your past, then you may not know how to get where you want to go, or you may not even know where you're going if you don't know your past as well. So we're more than happy to continue to share these birthday shout-outs with you. And of course, they're proudly brought to you by Coca-Cola, who are proud to support your birthday shout-out. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga wholesalers. You should accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. And by Superior Auto. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune. Call them at 949-9570 or 525-9571. Let's look at other information here today. Some of you, those of you who may have been on the waterfront and would have seen a strange looking vessel out there, the Cayman Islands government and Hazard Management Cayman Islands sent out a release indicating that Hazard Management Cayman Islands will be participating in a joint disaster response exercise with an international team. Hazard Management Cayman Islands, known by the acronym HMCI, will host representatives of global support and development next week that is this week now, for a joint disaster response and preparedness exercise. In addition, the motor vessel Dawn, that's the one, the strange-looking vessel that is out there, operated by Global Support Development and registered in the Cayman Islands, dropped anchor in Georgetown Harbor yesterday afternoon as part of Dawn's first visit to the Cayman Islands. Now, this was on the 26th of April that this release was done. So that would have been on the 25th then that the vessel dropped anchor on its first visit to the Cayman Islands. Global Support and Development is a United States-based humanitarian organization that works with local, national, and regional communities for resilience to crises through rapid response, disaster preparedness, and climate adaptation. The training exercises are aimed at preparing both Hazard Management Cayman Islands and GSD to support disaster response and preparedness efforts in the Cayman Islands and across the broader Caribbean region. And if you want more information on this, you can read that on the gov.ky website as well. And of course, we know hurricane season is approaching, so we want to be prepared for that as well. And when we compare the population of the Cayman Islands, what are we now? This is 2024, 20 years ago, Hurricane Ivan in 2004, when we look at the population and the amount of structural, notice I say structural, development in the Cayman Islands, or infrastructural development in the Cayman Islands has increased tremendously since Hurricane Ivan. So we have more people to urge to protect themselves. We have more people to evacuate in the event that evacuation becomes necessary. We have more structures that run the risk of being damaged as well here in the Cayman Islands. So we definitely have to be more resilient. We have to be more proactive. And then we also have to be prepared to react after a hurricane or any other natural disaster as well. So an increase in the population in the Cayman Islands, that increase does not make things any easier for those persons who are involved in hazard management here in the Cayman Islands as well. Share very quickly with you one more notice. Throughout our shows, I have shared with you the dates that the DVDL had assigned for the replacement of temporary registration plates at the Department of Vehicle and Driver's Licensing. So on Friday, the 26th of April, they advised members of the public that the Crew Road location was open on the 27th of April, and that was done to facilitate replacement of temporary and old registration, that is the orange and yellow number plates. They also wanted you to note that this location will only be exchanging temporary plates between the hours, temporary plates and old registration number plates as well. They were open between the hours of 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and you were asked to check the dates. Public also was reminded that failure to replace temporary plates is a criminal offense with a possible fine of $2,500 or up to 6 months imprisonment or both. Renewal of vehicle and driver's license can be done online as well. And those reminders were sent out. Of course, that was on the past Saturday as well. Folks, time for us to take a commercial break. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, He hath founded it upon the seas.
Mary Catherine Bodden, 1910 to 1994.
Mary Catherine Borden, nee Eden, attended school at Caswell, taught by Mrs. Nora Dilbert, nee Watler. She was a loving, caring mother of 4 children. She was a member of the Presbyterian Church from 1925 and served as choir director, organist, Sunday school teacher, and founding member of Women's Guild at Savannah. She traveled to the various districts conducting services for the Guild and took care of the preparation of Holy Communion for years. She was an active and influential cornerstone of both her church and her family. She was the mother of Cayman's first national hero, James Manoa Borden.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
The Rotary Cayman Islands Sunset $10,000 raffle happening Saturday, May 25th. Tickets only $10, 3 tickets only $25, 5 tickets for $40 from any Rotary Sunset member. All proceeds will support Rotary Sunset community projects including Feed Our Future, the Sunrise Adult Training Center, Adopt a School Program, the Marie Martin Georgetown Primary School, the Crisis Center, and many more. The new Rotary Sunset Club. NPO number 656. Get your ticket, get your chance. Rotary Sunset, creating hope in the world.
You don't need to be great to start, but you sure do need to start to be great. We've all been there. The little put when we try to start the car. Starters and alternators will eventually go. When life happens to your car, Superior Auto can save your day. Superior Auto offers complete starter and alternator repair. Superior Auto, 525-9571 or 949-9570. Superior Auto, they keep your car in tune.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Hey, K-Man, this is Pastor Elsony Banks. I want to invite you to come out and join us on Saturday, May 18th, 2024 for March for Jesus. I remember those events from years past, and I'm so happy we're doing them again. So join us on Saturday, May 18th, March for Jesus, celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ.
For more information, visit Christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. No guests in the studio, but to remind you that the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Nick Gent, as well as the Chief Nursing Officer, Miss Felicia McLean, will be in the studio later on. Talk about the public consultation on the National Health Strategy for the Cayman Islands. So remember to stay tuned to Radio Cayman. If you have any questions or comments in relation to it, you may want to send them to us in advance or WhatsApp number 925-3261. You can WhatsApp that information or email talktooc@gmail.com as well. Pretty busy weekend. Some of you may have attended the Capella Music Festival. Some of you may have attended the Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge here in Grand Cayman as well. And we see where the Cayman Compass has carried an article in it about the DG's 5K. And the headline is Sea of Blue as hundreds join the DG's 5K Challenge. And I'll share the article with you. Even though now you don't have to worry about subscribing online for the Cayman Compass. It is now free online. They may ask you about accepting cookies and things of that nature. When we talk about accepting cookies, we're not talking about the cooked cookies. That's a terminology that I guess computer terminology. I'm not sure, whatever. But you can accept cookies, but you don't have to pay to subscribe online for it. So he talks about a sea of blue washing over Elgin Avenue when dawn broke yesterday morning as hundreds took to the streets for the final leg of the Deputy Governor's 5K Challenge run/walk. Deputy Governor Francis Manderson, together with Governor Jane Owen, led the start of the event, which took participants through the arteries of Georgetown. Civil Service Employee of the Year, Zahain Rambaran, also took part in the challenge. And hopefully we'll get to talk about this civil servant Civil Service Employee of the Year 2023 as well. We hopefully will have that individual in the studio with us at some point in time as well. The article goes on to say that the Deputy Governor speaking with the Compass said this year's event saw a record-breaking turnout across the three islands. Between the three islands, we had over 2,000 participants, with over 1,900 registered in Grand Cayman. He said, adding that it was a resounding testament to the incredible spirit of our people. Reflecting on the support, the Deputy Governor added, and I quote, "Our beloved islands are so very special because of the commitment and generosity of our residents." He said the overwhelming success of this year's event will help provide vital financial support to three exceptional charities, Boys to Men, the NCVO, and the Addison Kelly Memorial Scholarship Fund. Their programs empower and uplift our youth, investing in the future leaders of our community. The event is also fantastic. It is also a fantastic celebration of healthy living, and physical activity. It was truly energizing. It was truly energizing to see so many people of all ages exercising enthusiastically. I'm going to stop there, with that article just to say that, yes, it is good to see many people exercising, and we need to encourage more and more of it. There are safe environments where people can exercise. Some choose to exercise on our roads. Some have no other option, like cyclists, but to ride on our roads, and that can be extremely dangerous at times, and that's in certain places as well. But we want to encourage a more healthy lifestyle in the Cayman Islands, especially for those people who reach the age of 50 and over. But these days, you see even those that are younger than that not participating in some sort of physical exercise as well. And you pay for it later in life. You don't want to live that sedentary lifestyle, that lifestyle where you're sitting down on the couch, you're becoming a couch potato, you're watching television all of the time. Even if you get up and walk around your yard, if you live in an apartment, get out and walk around the block where you're at. Choose the safe time to do it. You may not want to do it when the sun is overhead and when the sun is really bright out there, but choose the time. But any type of physical exercise is always good for you. It will help to keep you alive. It will extend your lifespan if you want it to be extended as well. So we want to continue to do more, especially to encourage our older folks to get out there and be active. Get out there and be active. Yes, sometimes it may be a little bit difficult, but you have to put that additional effort into it. Folks, trust me, believe me, it will pay huge dividends. Huge dividends. Bigger dividends than you get if you're a credit union member when after the AGM and you get your dividends. You get even bigger dividends than that. As a matter of fact, the dividends that you will get from the healthy lifestyle will allow you to enjoy those dividends that you get from the credit union even more. Folks, with that, we've reached the top of the hour, the 8 o'clock news. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. When we return, Dr. Nick Gent and Ms. Felicia McLean will be in the studio with us. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. Connor. And studio time now by Foster's is 8 o'clock. With just a few tweaks to our daily routines, we can all do our part to protect our precious island and keep Mother Earth thriving. Small changes add up to a big impact.
Like recycling.
Recycling aluminum and tin in Cayman is easy. Simply ensure the materials are empty, clean, and dry.
Then drop them into the gray DEH recycled container beside every Foster's location.
And that's it. You can also learn about how Foster's is recycling food waste at fosters.ky.
Foster's. Greener because we care.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
With your latest local news, I'm April Cummings. We are just a week away now from the Department of Environmental Health's bulk waste collection, and DEH says there are some things to bear in mind. First, they will pick up items from right outside your home.
We're coming to you. So there's no need for you to take all the time and energy to pack up a fridge or a stove in the back of your truck and carry it down the road and dump it on somebody else's property, right? Mm-hmm. This saves you from having to think about all that. All we're asking you to do, take your bulk waste, put it in front of your home.
That's DEH Director Richard Sims, who says it's a free service which goes district to district on Grand Cayman, starting with West Bay from May 6th to the 11th, Georgetown May 13th to the 18th, Bodentown May 20th through the 25th. The DH will then turn its focus to Northside and East End May 27th to June 1st, and then in Cayman Brac, it's East Side on the 27th and 28th, West Side on the 29th and 30th, and then moves to South Side on May 31st. Little Cayman sees just one day for bulk waste collection on the 29th of May. DH also advises there are rules about what they can and cannot pick up. You can find the details on the DEH Facebook page. We'll also share the information on Radio Cayman's Facebook page. This will, by the way, be the only bulk waste cleanup for the rest of the year. For the second year in a row, the Family Resource Center is working with the Cayman Islands government to offer the Honoring Women Month CIG Mentorship Program. It is a year-long initiative designed to propel women in the civil service towards leadership roles. The program kicks off with an info session on Thursday morning at the Government Admin Building. This is for all female civil servants interested in becoming a mentor or mentee. The session will provide details about the program, qualifications to become either a mentor or mentee, and share testimonials from the first cohort, which graduated in August 2023. The mentorship program provides training opportunities aimed at assisting mentees to develop skills that benefit career advancement, supporting, encouraging, and imparting knowledge and experiences between different generations of women, and building a strong support network for young women within the civil service. It also aims to support succession planning, create diversity, and support the recruitment and retention of highly skilled civil service employees. To apply to be a mentor or mentee or learn more about the Honoring Women's Month CIG Mentorship Program, you can email mentorship@gov.ky and attend the info session on Thursday, the 2nd of May. That is your latest local news. I'm April Cummings. Now to the BBC for stories making headlines around the world.
BBC News, I'm John Shea. The US Secretary of State says he's hopeful that Hamas will accept an Israeli proposal for a ceasefire and hostage deal in Gaza. Anthony Blinken called the offer extraordinarily generous. He's in Saudi Arabia to make the latest push for peace. Hamas is due to attend parallel negotiations in Egypt. There are reports that a Malta-flagged container ship has been targeted by 3 missiles off the southwest coast of Yemen. For several months, Yemen's Iran-backed Houthis have been attacking ships perceived to have links with Israel. Officials in central Kenya say at least 45 people have been killed after a dam collapsed following torrential rainfall. Video footage shows a vast area covered in mud, flattened houses and uprooted trees. It's feared that more people are buried under the debris. In the past half hour, Scotland's First Minister Humza Yousaf has announced that he will resign just over a year after taking office. He'd been facing 2 no-confidence votes later this week after a power-sharing deal with the Scottish Green Party fell apart. Spain's Prime Minister Pedro Sánchez says he will not step down following days of speculation. He'd threatened to quit over accusations of corruption against his wife. The High Court in Bangladesh has ordered the closure of all schools because of the intense heat, just a day after the government said they could reopen. Record highs are being registered across South and East Asia. The French actor Gérard Depardieu is being questioned at a Paris police station after being placed under formal investigation over 2 allegations of sexual assault. The 75-year-old has been accused of molesting 2 women on film sets. And police in Norway have charged the father and former coach of the Olympic gold medal-winning athlete Jakob Ingebrigtsen with domestic violence against an unnamed family member. The father denies the allegations. BBC News.
The 8 a.m. news is brought to you by ValueMed Pharmacy. Save time and order your prescription refills online at value-medpharmacy.com. VALU-medpharmacy.com.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin, or the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit ValueMed Pharmacy on Walkers Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with ValueMed Pharmacy.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman with the latest up-to-date, accurate news and information. For your convenience, the headline news will be repeated on our sister station, Breeze 105.3 FM, weekdays at 8:30 a.m. Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or download the Radio Cayman app in the App Store or log on to www.radiocayman.gov.ky and stay connected to what's happening in the community. Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com. The Family Resource Center has several upcoming parenting and family programs suited for all kinds of families, starting at the end of April. FRC continues to receive positive parent feedback, such as this most recent testimonial.
I can't express enough gratitude to the Family Resource Center. The depth of knowledge and practical strategies shared throughout the sessions was truly transformative for my family. I highly recommend to any parent seeking effective tools and support in raising happy, resilient children. Thank you for making such a positive impact on my family dynamics.
Would you like to experience these same benefits for your family? Then contact the Family Resource Center at frc@gov.ky or call 949-0006 to learn more. Follow them on Instagram and Facebook to stay up to date. All programming is government funded and free of charge to residents who are raising children in the Cayman Islands.
The Business Buzz. Each and every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 7:30 a.m. Brought to you by
Cayman Insurance Center, specializing in property, life, and other lines of insurance products and services. And 100% Math. Invest in your child's academic success. Visit 100%math.com or call 547-9817.
The 8 a.m. Weather Report, brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
Take some advice from your Aunt Angie. If you're going to invest in an exotic pet, choose anything but a Norwegian forest cat. Apparently, they will eat all your jewelry. Before you know it, you're racing to the vet when your cat escapes from his carrier and lunges for your earrings. You crash and your cat swallows your pearls. But if you're smart, you'll have CG Motor Insurance and get the best comprehensive coverage for the price.
Get the best comprehensive coverage for the price. CG Britcay. Good like that. All benefits are subject to policy provisions, including eligibility at the time of service.
Good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report.
Current temperature is 82 degrees. Relative humidity is 79%. The barometric pressure is 29.93 inches and rising. The wind is out of the northeast at 10 knots. Overnight low temperature was 79 degrees. Synopsis indicate moderate to fresh easterly winds with moderate to rough seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours in association with a high pressure system over the western Atlantic Ocean. Satellite images show a few to scattered low and high level clouds over the Cayman area. Now the forecast for the Cayman Islands for today, calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will be in the mid-80s. Winds will be easterly at 15 to 20 knots, and seas will be rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. Small craft should exercise caution over the open waters. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 30% chance of late-night showers, and temperatures dipping to the upper 70s tonight. Your winds will be east to northeast at 10 to 15 knots, and seas will be moderate to rough with wave heights of 3 to 5 feet. Low tide will be this morning at 8:47, high tide this afternoon at 12:49, and a low tide again tonight at 7:34. The sun will set this evening at 6:46 and will rise tomorrow morning at 5:58. And the outlook is calling for a decrease in winds and seas as the high pressure system weakens over the western Atlantic Ocean. That's the very latest on your weather report.
The 8 a.m. weather report brought to you by CG Britcay, where people come first.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look this time at traffic. Coming off of the Essex-Tibbetts Highway, steady but flowing traffic. On the Linford Pearson Highway, traffic is steady as well. As we look to Crew Road, steady traffic heading to Georgetown. Eastbound traffic on Crew Road is moving on pretty good. Into Georgetown on Shedden Road looking good, and out of Georgetown on Shedden Road, moderate flow of traffic. No issues on Edward Street as traffic is light. Light traffic as well on Owen Roberts Drive. Steady traffic coming off of Bobby Thompson Way and Huldah Avenue. As we look to the West Bay Road in front of the Ritz, traffic is moderate in both directions and flowing pretty good coming from the West Bay four-way stop. Now, if you see any accidents or incidents, please give us a call here at Radio Cayman, 949-6990. Join us again at about 10 minutes past 12. We'll give you another look at traffic. Have a good morning. Drive safe.
From boat days to beach gatherings, leave the catering to Subway. Choose from small and large sandwich platters, double meat wrap platters, and top it off with optional cookie platters for dessert. Or ask about our Subway box to go with the option of 6-inch or foot-long sandwich, 1 cookie, and 1 bag of chips. For all occasions and celebrations, let Subway focus on the food so you can focus on the fun. Visit subway.ky for catering options. Subway. Eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Enjoy a delicious start to your day with breakfast from Subway.
In the tranquil beauty of the Cayman Islands, our island paradise, the Lions Club stands as guardians of our precious environment. Join the Lions Club of Cayman Brac in their mission to preserve the natural splendor of our island home. Together, let's take a stand against pollution, against deforestation, and against the erosion of our coastline. Let's embrace sustainable practices, conserve water, and reduce our carbon footprint. Together, we can ensure that our Cayman Islands remain a paradise for generations to come. Let's protect our environment today for a greener, healthier tomorrow. An Earth Month message from the Lions and Leos of Cayman Brac.
Tune in every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. for Radio Cayman's Midday Newscast. Radio Cayman, the People's Station, your trusted official source for the latest news. The 12 p.m. news is proudly brought to you by Health City Cayman Islands. World-class healthcare within your reach.
You know what I love to do with my family? Go fishing. I can put the bait on and cast and reel the line all by myself. My mommy and daddy say when they were little, there were plenty more fish to catch, but now there are lots more people fishing, so it's harder to find them. That's why we have marine parks now. They set some areas aside so the fish there can have babies and grow bigger. Then they swim out to other areas where I can catch them. Having the marine parks means there will still be fish there when I'm grown up and fishing with a family of my own.
For more info, download the Cayman DOE app or visit doe.ky.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me Chief Medical Officer Dr. Nick Gent and Chief Nursing Officer Miss Felicia McLean. Miss Felicia, you're making this a habit now.
Apparently, yes. Our weekly
Right.
Monday morning starts.
And of course, we will be talking again about the National Health Strategy, the consultation that will be taking place. And these appearances are designed really to remind people, to familiarize them with what is happening as well. We're trying to hammer it home as much as possible, because if you repeat it and continue to repeat it, then people will believe it after a while, as well they say, right? And this one we really, really want them to believe. So without any further ado, I want to say good morning to both of you. Welcome to For the Record. I haven't seen Dr. Nick Gent in quite a while, but I know he's been quite busy as well. So good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. I've not been hiding, Mr. Connor, I can assure you. But it's good to see you again too.
Okay, so as a reminder to our listening and viewing audience, let's tell them what National Health Strategy is all about.
So yeah, our National Health Strategy is something that our ministry is currently undertaking. The last one that we had was done back in 2012, and it was only for 5 years. And so this time we are looking at doing this national strategy for 10 years so that it can inform the government no matter the changes and stuff that happen going forward. We want to inform the government of what healthcare should look like, the standards, the practices, the guidelines, also looking at not taking from other jurisdictions what might be working someplace else, but actually looking at our Cayman population and what is needed to meet the needs here in Cayman. And so this national strategy, or what's coming up, is the consultation period. And our goal is to have as many, if not everyone, participate in this national strategy consultation period so that we can hear from the people the strengths, the weaknesses, and also what they want to see going forward in regards to healthcare and wellness.
Okay, and it's important for people to understand also it's not limited to the physical structure, because a lot of times when people talk about healthcare, they will talk about the systems that are in place, either physical structures or wait times and things of that nature. But it goes way, way, way beyond that, doesn't it?
No, for sure. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we've been engaging all of government ministries in the sense that agriculture pertains to food sustainability. Youth and sports pertains to exercise and health and wellness. The environment in general that we live in will speak to how healthy we are and all the options that are available. So we need to hear from everyone in regards to how things are happening and, what we see and what we need to see in regards to overall health and wellness, not just the institution itself.
Dr. Nick, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, a few points. Really, really good point you were making, Mr. Connor, there about it's not just about the buildings. We see the buildings, we see the fancy machines, the techniques, the sexy stuff. But an awful lot of the things which can improve people's health are much, much more basic than that. And they go with us from birth through, our children healthy at schools. I mean, I'll keep coming back to the diet and food. I'm going to do going to do that because we've got all that data from the STEP survey, which is going to be an important contributor to this, that's showing us what are the unhealthy habits that people have. And we know from, that we've done a first tranche of analysis of that. We're starting to do the more detailed cross comparisons work in that. A lot of work still to get done to get the to absolutely grind all the data out from that and start feeding it back to the public.
Mhm.
But we know that we are not doing our best in the roots of best health, and that's starting with children. We know about the degrees of obesity in school children. We know about the fast food habitus of the Caymanian people, against the background of one of the most wonderful food cultures there is. We know about how poor access to exercise and health and well-being is for the majority of people. You know, like the world here is always splits into those who really look after themselves, those who hope that everything's going to be good, and those who they know they're not looking after themselves, and encouraging and moving things, and particularly the youth and young people, moving them up through the best health. But we want the whole thing. We want the determinants of health, as we, is our fancy term for getting it right for yourself, and parents getting it right for children, and families getting it right because they all join in with the best health, but also making sure that we've got the right balance of community services and primary care. My observation from outside, for what it's worth, is that we are very, very light on the public health, the preventative, and the primary care. And where primary care, GP services, some are doing a lot of really, really good continuity of care. Many are just overwhelmed and having to refer people through. And we've got a preponderance of secondary and tertiary care, and there's some imbalance there. And so sorting some of those things out, I think, is in getting people's understanding of, can they access care? What care do they need? And I'm really, really worried that whilst we've got many people who can afford to access care, we've got a lot of people in the Cayman Islands for whom it is a struggle to be able to afford care. And so one of the really important areas of this for me, we can look at all the others, but access and affordability of care is going to be critical to me. Now, this is really important because often the people who are most disadvantaged are the people who contribute least to these kind of consultations. They don't have the computer, they don't have the phone, they don't have the communications to start with. And so one of the things I'm really hopeful of is we can get to the people who are most in need and say, what aren't we doing right for you? What is it that makes the difference as to how we can get the care needed to you, and what are the health problems that where we really fail. So that's my take on it. There's lots of other people have got lots of other takes, and we've got everything from primary, secondary, tertiary, community, quality. All these elements are really part of this program.
So getting to those persons that you described there who they can benefit most from this, but they don't have the access to that information, or to be able to share that information with you. How do we reach them? Do we reach them through the district clinics and things of that nature?
So we've got all our key stakeholders. So as we mentioned in some of the previous interviews, we've got our nonprofits, we've got our faith-based organizations that we're reaching out to try and get into their networks. We've also reached out to, obviously, Department of Children and Family Services, and we are looking at getting to their community rep. That, the older persons, they tend to have these monthly outings and that kind of thing. So we're going to those as well. So we've gotten into those areas, and the plan is to be able to go to their luncheons, take an iPad, tablet with us, whatever, sit with them in small groups and actually go through and get the information from them. We're talking to like Meals on Wheels that gets into the community. So it's also seeing whether some of the Meals on Wheels can partner with us when they are doing their visits and helping the people they're delivering food to try and get the information. So we really are on the ground as well in the month of May, trying to find all the different ways to get to those pockets of people to hear what they have to say. Even the kids, like teenagers, young people, it's important. I was literally just talking to my daughter who's 10 this morning saying, I'm going to sit with you and do it when it happens, because in 10 years, she'll be 20. And so this healthcare strategy is going to affect what healthcare looks like for her, or if she's helping to take care of me, or my mother, it's going to play into that. And so we really want to hear from everyone. So we're encouraging parents to do it with their children. We're looking at talking to the schools and getting them to do there. We're going to go out to the community. We're going to have town hall meetings as well. We're hoping that people will come out. That information will come out shortly. We're just securing the venues. But shortly, that's how we're going to do it. We're going to get out there. We're going to go to the sister islands as well and get their information as much as we can. So we are trying, but I've had several people come up to me already and says, how do I get involved? And that's been amazing. And so every time that happens, I can plug them in. And so I encourage everyone, if they know of a group of people who they feel could benefit from it, but not quite sure how to get to them, reach out to us, and we will figure out how we can get to that person.
Okay, that's really, really great news, because so many times we rely on we say we're having a meeting at the town hall, we're having a meeting at the community center, and you get a handful of people showing up, and that's it.
The ones that have access to get there.
Yes, yes.
And it is that point about actually even knowing to start with. Give you an example. Recently, as you know, last year we had a number of problems, little outbreaks of dengue, particularly around the West Bay area. And we got concerned. Are we getting the messages over? Whatever. And a group of us, we went out with our clipboards. We sat outside of certain well-known fast food places or local cafes or whatever. And people kindly stopped and talked to us. And things like, for example, where do you get information from? Well, we only really pick up a paper when one of us is out of work and we need to look through and at that time, the principal local paper with all the adverts in, you had to pay for, and it was, we can't afford that until one of us is out of a job. Well, do you listen to the radio? Well, we've got a car because we have to have a car to be able to get to our work. But if we want to listen to the radio, we have to sit in the car. We don't have a radio in the house. Do you have a smartphone? No, you don't have a smartphone. What are the ways that we can communicate with you? And they say, well, we can read a billboard as we're driving past, and things like that. And there's this issue about IT poverty, and that and that is the 2, 3, 4, 5% of people who we absolutely desperately need to talk to, because those are the ones who generally have all the other things of they are poor financially. They cannot afford to eat as well as they can. They're not getting the health messages. They're not being able to afford basic medicines, and it's critical that we get them. And so, we'll look at how we're doing as we go through things, and we'll see whether or not there are other things we need to do. The big ones, though, are hoping that people who have got stories to tell us about, I can't get tests for this disease, I can't afford a doctor's appointment, I can't afford these medicines, it's the nearest place I can go to get care is inaccessible for me because it's not on a ready bus route, we don't have the transport, and so on. I'm really hoping they're going to come forward and tell us this in detail, so we get it down to the district level.
Yeah, and even those people who, let's just say you go to the doctor and they're like, you need to get this medication, but I can't afford that medication because it's not covered in my plan. Or they say eat healthy and lose weight. Well, I can't afford to eat healthy because the healthiest things are twice the price, or the exercise programs, all those kind of things. It's looking at all the avenues of which it can impact your health and trying to get that information.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. We know, Ms. Felicia, that you mentioned earlier why we need a national health strategy in terms of legally what we should be doing at the last, what was it, 5 years ago?
No, it was actually 2012.
2012, that's 12 years ago as well. And so much has happened in that period of time. I want to talk a little bit more about that. Things like life expectancy, increasing as well. But is the quality of life increasing with that, increase in life expectancy, as well. So we want to talk a little bit more about why we really need that. Consultation, and why we need to develop a strategy now as well. Folks, don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
At Doctor's Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctor's Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered.
Hey K-Man, this is Pastor Elsony Banks. I want to invite you to come out and join us on Saturday, May 18th, 2024 for March for Jesus. I remember those events from years past, and I'm so happy we're doing them again. So join us on Saturday, May 18th, March for Jesus, celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ.
For more information, visit Christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab.
Attention West Bay residents. The Department of Environmental Health West Bay Bulk Waste Collection will take place between May 6th to 11th. This bulk waste collection will replace the traditional year-end collection. Household appliances, furniture, and other items too large to be handled by the weekly DEH collection crews should be placed by the roadside where it is easily accessible to the DEH collection crews. Metals and vegetation should also be separated from other bulk items. Do not obstruct the roadway or storm drains or place tires, construction and demolition waste, hazardous materials, or electronics. For more information on the West Bay bulk waste collection, from May 6th to 11th, please contact DEH's Solid Waste Management Section at 949-6696.
This is For the Record.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. In the studio with me, Chief Nursing Officer Ms. Felicia McLean and Chief Medical Officer Dr. Nick Gent. We're talking about the National Health Strategy, the consultation period. And before we went to the commercial break, we wanted to repeat why we need a National Health Strategy. And then one of our listeners has sent in a question wanting to know if we could speak about mental health and what will the consultation include that as well?
That's easy, yes.
Yes. 110%, yes.
If it's health, it's included, and mental health services, I think, is a particularly important one. Partly because it's a personal prejudice that's as Chief Medical Officer, you're always there to try to represent the unrepresented. So representing the poor, representing the homeless, representing people with learning disabilities, representing people with mental health issues, representing prisoners, that's very much part of the job. And I think we're at an interesting point in the development of mental health care services, and we have the opportunity to move to a much more rehabilitative framework, to build the skills, particularly in the community, and have a system where home or the community is the place that people receive care, and we enable people and their families and their friends to have a normal life, but supporting them and being able to escalate care where it's needed, and being able to let the reins go when people can manage themselves, but not looking first of all to a bed, a hospital, a place where somebody's detained. We should be doing our best to enable people's care, because for a lot of mental health problems, unfortunately, they are long-term health problems. Sometimes things are nice and straightforward, and we can there are quick fixes, but often in mental health not. And so the quality of life and having systems to give quality of life and get away from the out of sight, out of mind mentality that mental health has had for a long time, I think is really important. Another area linked to that I'm growing increasingly concerned about, and I'll be very interested in people's experiences, is addiction, and particularly addiction to prescription medicines, which from the point of view of knowing the scale of prescribing of addictive medicines on the islands concerns me an awful lot. We've got a lot of good services for intervention when people have problems, but addiction seems to have been one that's left behind for prescription medicines. We've got some very good people working on things like alcohol and drugs like ganja and things like that. But the prescription medicine side is one I'm bothered about. But there's a huge span of stuff in mental health care, not even started about things like we have got some good emerging facilities for child and adolescent mental health care. That probably needs a bit more of a push. I think we need to be looking very carefully about mental health care during pregnancy and
postpartum as well.
Postpartum, absolutely. The old just buck up and get on with it. We know that's wrong. We do know that that mental health problems, particularly around the time of delivery and shortly after delivery, are quite profound. In a large part based upon physiological changes as well as the massive social changes that are there, and I think that's an area where we need to be a little bit more secure. We've got some don't get me wrong, not criticising clinicians out there. It's things like scale and organisation of services, the right setting for services, and keeping services absolutely up to date with the best based evidence, for what works.
Ms. Felicia?
No, for sure. Mental health 110%, as we mentioned. We were hoping that people will take the time to express themselves. It is completely confidential. PAHO, who has been gracious to come on board with this, the Pan American Health Organization, is doing this for free for us. They are taking the bulk costs of collecting the data, and even when they come over for the week in May, they're covering all their costs, and so we're really grateful for that. But it is 100% confidential, because I know our Cayman people like to think, well, is it going to be safe? Is someone going to know that I said this? Absolutely not. But what you say will be hugely important in helping to direct and guide this policy. And so, yes, if someone does have mental health or knows of people with mental health, please, when you're answering the survey, put in all that you can. There's a part on the bottom that you can just talk for as long as you want. There's no word limit in there. And so we welcome all the feedback we can get to ensure that this strategy covers the whole span of health and wellness for our people.
Okay. Can we talk about some of the things that will be in included in the new National Health Strategy?
Well, included, we want to include everything. But basically, I mean, as Dr. Gent alluded to earlier, you know, when people are answering the survey, we're hoping to look and define what primary care is and how it manages the health and wellness. So that's going to the doctor, like kind of just going into the health services or any of the health facilities. Secondary would be more your urgent and emergency type of medication. Yet again, that mental health comes under secondary care. Tertiary care would be your specialties, your cancers, your neurosurgeries. Community care, what does that look like in the community? District visits, health visits, child health and wellness clinics, sex and mental health in general again, and then anything else. Accessibility. Is the care accessible? Is it affordable? Can I, manage it? Do we have the right insurance policies? Do we have the right medicines available on the island? Are the services that we need only available someplace else? Is it something we need to add here? And then yet again, quality and governance. So are services safe? Are they effective? Do we have positive patient experience? And so it's looking at all of these type of things that's going to come in there. Then we want to look at the health workforce. Do we have enough staffing on the island for the needs that our people have? Customer feedback, what does that look like? What should it look like? Health education. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. It can encompass so much, and health affects us all. Every one of us tap into the health system at some point in time in our lives. And so why not let your voice be heard to help inform what you think it should be?
Okay. And public participation, you have said it already, but we want to repeat it again in terms of who should be participating in this.
Everyone. Can't say it enough. Everyone. For sure. I mean, it's going to make the difference. And for those people who are kind of hesitant, because I think some of the other statements before have kind of been like, well, yeah, they might gather it, but are they going to use it? That is our hope and our plan. And the idea is to gather this information so that we can have a good analysis of what the needs are within our community, and then setting those policies and strategies in place so that then there's an action plan as to how we can carry out the needs and the necessity, the needs needed in this community. And then going forward, how do we monitor? How do we evaluate? How do we review it? And someone also said, is it going to be like another 10 years before we do? If something changes in between, let's just say there's another COVID or there's another anything that happens, this plan will guide where we are, but it doesn't mean it's stuck, that we can't amend it to make changes. Because as someone mentioned, AI, like if things change and we've got more AI involvement, which will enhance it, yeah, it might get tweaked, but at least it gives us a standard of the bare minimum that we need to have in the Cayman Islands to meet our needs.
How do we ensure that people don't suffer from survey
overload?
Fatigue?
It's a good point. It's rarely a week when I'm not driving in and I can't hear about on Radio Cayman about some survey, whether it be economics or whatever. We can overload people, but if we don't have a system of collecting the data, we also can't serve people. So it's a necessary evil. We can, at one time, government was paternalistic. People sat up in their ivory tower and they said, "This is what what the people need," and we all know that doesn't work. People have their preformed ideas from their social status, from their educational background, everything else, and say, surely that's what everybody else needs, and it's not. And that's one of the biggest lessons in medicine over the last 40 years I've been practicing, is you listen to the patients, you listen to the public. They will tell you what is needed by and large, their experience. We have to remember we are a service, and that is, we are serving people. It's not there that people should be grateful for what we do. We are there because we want to make people's lives better. We want to serve them. They have to tell us what we have to do to make that service better. So, sorry folks, I know it's another survey, but there's lots of ways of putting it in, and it doesn't necessarily mean you sign up to do what is a relatively short questionnaire, 10 questions on it, and it's free form. But we also have an email site, we have a WhatsApp, way of sending stuff in, and we have the face-to-face town hall. It might just be that one lesson of, I had this problem, I tried to get this help, this wasn't there. It might just be 3 lines. And that 3 lines might be something that, hey, that pops up again and again and again, and there's a weight of evidence there. But if people don't give us the feedback, we can't go to people and say, this is what is needed. I mean, I've worked in healthcare a lot of the time, and you work in a particular setting, a particular locality, particular provider, you can get very blinkered. You think you're doing a good job, you think you're providing what is needed, and you're not, because you don't have that vision. It needs other people looking in on us and telling us what they need.
Okay, we're going to take our last commercial break. Folks, when we return, the conversation with Ms. Felicia McLean and Dr. Nick Gent will continue. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned. We're talking about the National Health Strategy, the consultation period that soon begins as well. Yes. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
There you go, sir. Thanks for choosing JN Money Transfer.
Boy, thanks to JN Money Transfer, I can stay right here in Cayman and pay mama bills back home in Jamaica. Her water, light, phone and other bills never late. Every month I pay everything in one place.
Make payments to over 30 companies in Jamaica through JN Money Transfer. Fast, affordable, convenient. Call 1-800-744-1163 for details.
Are you feeling sick, but don't feel ill enough to go to the doctor? Ask your pharmacist for advice. Here at West Bay Pharmacy, our pharmacists have been trained to offer helpful, easy-to-understand advice on the treatment of everyday minor ailments for yourself and all the family. Anything from headaches, cough and sore throat, to cold sores, our pharmacists will know when medical help is needed and will not hesitate to refer you to your doctor if your symptoms demand it. Like doctors, our pharmacists have a professional code, which means all personal information you give them will be treated in the strictest confidence. Visit us today at West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
Do you have a chronic illness? Are you a parent or guardian of a child with special health needs? Can you access healthcare services easily? We want to hear from you. From May 1st to May 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be undertaking a public consultation to help inform Cayman's new National Health Strategy. Tell us about your experiences with healthcare across all 3 islands by emailing mohfeedback@gov.ky or by logging on to gov.ky/health-wellness and complete the survey.
If you're a parent, you know that providing your child with a quality early childhood education can be expensive. However, the Ministry of Education offers financial assistance through its Early Childhood Assistance Program to help qualifying Caymanian families cover the costs at registered early childhood settings. Visit our online application portal at moeapplications.gov.ky to learn more and get started. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Education.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of this segment with Chief Nursing Officer, Ms. Felicia McLean, and Dr. Nick Gent, the Chief Medical Officer, talking about the consultation on the National Health Strategy. And just before we went off, you echoed in and said, you know, people are actually starting to participate already. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about that, and let's talk about, how long the consultation, when it starts, when it ends, and everything else.
Yep, so the consultation officially starts May 1st, but as you've mentioned, people have already started taking opportunities to email in or get in contact with us, and it'll go for 1 month. So May 1st to May 31st would be the time that survey link is up and running. It'll also be the time the email address mohfeedback@gov.ky will be live. But in the meantime, if you go to our website, you can obviously email us straight at healthandwellness@gov.ky. There's also going to be a WhatsApp number that if people care to, that'll be live May 1st, which is 936-4969. Don't worry, people. You will have the opportunity to see this several times in several different ways over the next week and so. But these are all the different ways that people can get involved if they happen to not attend one of our town hall meetings, or if they happen to not be already captured in one of these key stakeholder groups that we'll be touching, or if they're not connected by the DCFS or one of those. But like I said, we're really doing our very best to try and find all the different areas where we can connect with the people of the Cayman Islands so that it really is their voice. One of the things I pride myself coming from Jasmine is patient-centered care, and that is really what this national strategy is all about. It's about being patient-centered, people-centered. We, as Dr. Gent mentioned, I know it's another survey, but it'll be key post the STEPS project that we just did, that told us kind of like the heartbeat of the health of our community in that regards, that's going to now feed into this national strategy with the comments, concerns, suggestions of our people to create this new plan for the next 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so please do remember that it's not one of the surveys that comes around every month. It's once a decade, and it is very much about the infrastructure, the landscape of what we're going to be seeing. And it's overdue, and I think we will all admit that. I mean, I think there was something that put us out of our stride in terms of our regular cycle of things that happened a few years ago, which we will not talk about. But overdue. We have an interesting healthcare system and health challenges in the Cayman Islands, which is quite unlike the way that many healthcare systems are organised, funded, and the like. And we've got a growing community, and that brings a whole load of other challenges and demands that are in there. So it's going to be really important that we get this right now, and we do understand all the things that are in the background. We've talked about the primary care, secondary, tertiary, more particularly the public health and preventative care services. But that other aspect of the fact that we have quite a disparate healthcare system, lots and lots of providers doing lots of different kind of things in both in the physical and the mental health welfare. So how does that, how do we manage all of that in terms of leadership, governance, financing, making sure the quality, the accountability, and so on. We're also islands that are not in the mainstream of healthcare systems worldwide. So, I mean, I've really noticed this, coming from a background where I'm used to being able to access continuing medical education, where I had my performance audited in great detail every year, where my professional license to practice as a specialist was only valid for 5 years, and I had to go through really rigorous review and reappraisal and accreditation to get my license back every year. Here, myself and colleagues, we don't have quite the we don't have access to the richness of resources that I used to keep my professional skills up. So there's a lot more here, not just but because we've concentrated by and large on the patients and public. There's a bit there also, I think, for clinical staff. For instance, I think we are not making the most out of a lot of clinicians here. Pharmacists can do so much in terms of basic healthcare management and chronic disease management and immunisations and prescribing, and as well as dispensing medicines, but it needs, many who've recently qualified will have those skills, but some people who have been around longer may not and need refresher training and development. There's lots that we should be doing to enable our nursing staff and our midwifery staff, especially people like our community psychiatric nursing staff, to be able to do so. Please, if you've been getting the impression listening to this that you're one of the many, many healthcare practitioners out there, that this sounds like we're talking about how people tell you to restructure your lives, which it is in part. And it's not just you. I mean, Felicia and myself are, registered health professionals. It's also about you telling us about what it is that you can contribute more, because you're also seeing the patients and they're telling you their stories and and you're thinking to yourselves quite often, if only I could do this, I could serve these people better. So please don't feel that you're cut out of this as not. Unfortunately, as particularly when you get older, you also realise that health practitioners, you're not immune. And you sometimes do become patients. So telling us what it is that you expect as well is also good.
Yeah, I think that's an important point. It's not only the persons who are receiving the health care, but those who are providing the services as well that you want to hear from, because there's so much to be gained from them as well. One listener wanted to know, and you have already pointed out, but I'll repeat it, and you have pointed out that there are no boundaries in relation to if you have an issue that you should point it out, because this person was querying the cost of health care in the Cayman Islands these days, and whether or not that will be addressed as well.
Yes. It worries me hugely. And it's not so much that there isn't money in the healthcare system. This is actually, if you look at the overall funding of healthcare, what the sheer amount of money that's spent on healthcare is astonishing in the Cayman Islands. The question is it spent on the right things and the right people? And there are undoubtedly a lot of people falling out of the system, and the system is failing because the funding that is available is not going to their particular needs. One example I'm very, very conscious of is that we have a lot of people who do not have their chronic care needs for relatively simple things. I'll always come back to these: diabetes and hypertension, that people either aren't getting properly investigated for, or not being offered the treatment, or offered the treatment cannot afford the treatment. And there are we've got a healthcare system that grew up around what was available, and it's grown explosively. But it's tended to leave behind, in my opinion, it's tended to leave behind the poorest people, and it's tended to leave behind the chronic diseases, and particularly the continuity of community-based care that can help make sure people live longer, happier lives. Because heart disease and diabetes particularly are shortening lives and ruining the quality of life. Diabetes more than anything else. And yes, you'll get me coming back to the obesity issue, which is a principal component of many cases, but not all cases there. But we're not penetrating people into those groups of people, and those groups of people are not engaging with us because they can't afford to engage with us.
Okay. I want to give you both an opportunity for some closing comments, and also to remind we're working on a date for the week of the 6th of May as well, to have you all back on.
But one of the things I'm tagging on from Dr. Gent was, if we look, and he's so right, if you look at obesity, if you look at hypertension, diabetes, these are things that could be managed better in primary care in the community. It's not something you should have to try and get to your doctor in the hospital or your specialist all the time. If you're managed properly, as an outpatient, then in the community, then that lowers the cost. And then, ensuring you have the medication that you need to manage it, ensuring you have the food that you need to manage it. All these things play into effect. And as he says, these are areas where we're dropping down because people just can't afford to get the care that they need. And so we definitely want to address that. But going back to just an overarching at the end of it, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is committed to ensuring that healthcare needs meet the people of the Cayman Islands, and it is currently we're striving to protect and promote good health. It's one of the highest priorities that we have right now. So I'm really excited to be a part of this, because I think this, like we know it's overdue. And we know that it's time, with all the changes, with the population changes, that it's time to really put a standard across of the bare minimum that we need, as I mentioned earlier. And so I really, really encourage everyone to let their voice be heard, to participate, whether it's now or whether it's during the May 1st to May 31st. Don't let that opportunity pass you to put your input in.
Very quickly, I know we've gone past the headline news, but this person again reiterated what I said there are people who are seriously suffering and in need of medical care and attention, but they can't afford to go to a doctor. That's one of the reasons that we're losing so many of our Caymanians. We need honest and urgent attention by the right persons who care and understand them. And that's what you have said.
Well put, sir.
Okay, I want to thank you all very much, for being here. Looking forward to having you on again, because we're going to continue to hammer this home, the importance of hearing from people. Folks, when we return from our headline news at 9 o'clock, the phone lines will be open, so we want to give you an opportunity to dialogue with us here on For the Record as well. If you have any other issues, we have a few birthday shout-outs that we will mention later on as well. Please stay tuned for The Record. We'll be back immediately after headline news.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
With your latest headlines, I'm April Cummings. Cayman's Rotarians host Rotarians from across the Northwest Caribbean this week as they hold the first Rotary District Conference in 10 years here. It's on now through the 3rd of May, with more than 250 invitees expected to attend in addition to the local Rotary contingent. Create Hope 2024 conference includes training and development, celebrating service, milestones, and of course fellowship. In international headlines, Scotland's First Minister Humza Yousaf resigned today, triggering a leadership contest as the governing Scottish National Party seeks to avoid early elections. Yousaf, whose party has been weakened by a campaign finance scandal and divisions over transgender rights, was brought down by his decision to oust the Green Party from his governing coalition because of differences over climate change goals. He was forced to resign after that left him unable to cobble together a majority in Scotland's devolved regional parliament. Colleges around the U.S. implored pro-Palestinian student protesters to clear out tent encampments with rising levels of urgency as classes wrap up for the semester and campuses prepare for graduation ceremonies. Students and others have been sparring over the Israel-Hamas war and its mounting death toll. Many students are demanding their universities cut financial ties with Israel. The number of arrests across the U.S. has surpassed 900 since New York police removed a pro-Palestinian protest encampment at Columbia University, arresting more than 100 demonstrators on April 18th. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
When you have a sports or fitness-related injury, trust the expertise of the HSA's Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic to get you back in the game. Our internationally trained and certified physicians specialize in sports traumatology, sports medicine, pain management, and orthopedic surgery. For treatment of common injuries such as tendonitis, arthritis, tennis elbow, rotator cuff, or knee tears, schedule a consultation with the Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic at Smith Road Medical Center by calling 949-8600 or visit hsa.ky for more information.
For the Record with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Our phone lines are open. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Also 949-8037, 949-6990. Or WhatsApp number 925-3261. You can call in on that number or you can send us a WhatsApp message like Mr. Tommy Ebanks did earlier. And he wanted to wish happy birthday. Send out happy birthday greetings to his son Thaddeus Ebanks, and also happy birthday greetings to Lydia Ebanks. And they're coming from Mr. Tommy Ebanks. So Thaddeus, happy birthday. Lydia Ebanks, happy birthday as well. Okay. I sort of hesitated to mention this particular issue because it forms a part of it's talking about the judiciary to a certain extent, but it was a publicly disseminated decision, and we've heard people call in and talk about the quality of legal advice in the Cayman Islands. And I guess it's like everything else. If you can pay for it, then, or if you have money, then the more money you have, the more financial resources you have, the better or the quality of what you're likely to get is better than if you can't afford it. So this particular case, and I'm sharing this with you from the Cayman News Service website, Appeal Court orders the DPP, that is the Director of Public Prosecutions, to investigate lawyer. And I'm going to read it verbatim. So if anything, I'm sharing with you directly what is already out in the public domain. And it says that the Cayman Islands Court of Appeal has directed the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to take forward an investigation into a criminal defense attorney accused of sexually harassing a client in what the judges said was and I quote, troubling case, close of quote. The higher court found that messages between Keith Myers and his client, Aisha Jamila English, undermined an affidavit he swore under oath for the court denying the allegations. Myers represented English, who was 33 years of age at the time. At trial in 2022, when she was convicted of wounding, but she successfully argued at the appeal level that he, that is Myers, hadn't properly represented her and had sent her a series of sexts, not texts, sexts. English, sorry. English was acquitted by the Court of Appeal last week. On Tuesday, the court handed down, that is last week Tuesday, the court handed down its full written ruling in which the senior judge, so this is a summary or excerpt, summary of part of that written ruling in which the senior judge or senior judges said that the case must go before the police and the Cayman Islands Legal Practitioners Association, known as SILPA. The Crown had declined to contest the appeal largely because of the messages that were submitted in evidence between English and Myers which were of a sexual nature and described as highly inappropriate. There was also a lack of notes or preparation material, which supported English's contention that after she failed to respond to Myers' advances, he had neglected to properly prepare her case, despite being funded by legal aid to do so. So we'll talk a little bit about that, or we would like to hear from those in the legal profession, about this, as well. We know to a certain extent, these are my words now, we know to a certain extent that the legal fraternity, to a certain extent, is a tight-knit group. And sometimes they may hesitate or may even decline to be critical of their learned friends. But there are some legal luminaries out there who are not in any way reluctant to share their opinions, and we would like to hear from them on this particular case and the fact that this was a legal aid funded case as well. So that lawyer was receiving monies from the government of the Cayman Islands. Of course, the money that the government of the Cayman Islands receives through the services that they render or whatever fees that you have to pay, that's actually coming from the people of the Cayman Islands. So here we have the people of the Cayman Islands funding a lawyer to represent a client, and the Court of Appeals issues this stinging decision, and not only the decision, but the recommendation as well. So again, I'll continue now on with the article. English said the lawyer also failed to call a potential key witness who could have helped support her argument that she was acting in self-defense when she stabbed her colleague during a fight at the beauty parlor where she worked. The court agreed with Simon Soka, I believe that's how that is pronounced, KC, who represented English, Zonka, or it could be Zoka. I'm thinking of Nick Zonka, who used to play with the Miami Dolphins. That name is almost spelled similar to his. So this Mr. Simon, who represented English in the appeal, that the messages had, and I quote again, tainted the whole preparation of the case and how Myers represented her throughout the trial, which was described as, quote unquote, winging it. Do you know what winging it means? We sometimes get some of our politicians who do that as well. Winging it, that means that you're basically addressing an issue, but you're addressing it without any preparation. You're basically, doing it on instinct more than anything else. That's my definition of winging it for you. The judges stated that Myers, and I quote again, conduct was indefensible as they directed the involvement of the authorities and the need for an investigation as well as a review by the SILPA, which again is the Cayman Islands. I want to find what that acronym stands for, right? The Cayman Islands Legal Practitioners Association. So they called for an investigation by them as well of the authorities. Cayman News Service also pointed out that they reached out to Myers, but he said that at this stage he was unable to comment in it. So questions are now being asked in relation to this particular incident. When will the DPP commence their investigation in relation to this? Some may want to know, have interviews taken place already in relation to the victim in this particular case, as well as the alleged perpetrator? We know that here in the Cayman Islands, we operate on the basis that the presumption of innocence until proven guilty. Whether or not this particular lawyer is still able to enjoy the benefits afforded to him by the people of the Cayman Islands in relation to their monies being spent, allowing him to continue to conduct cases. Of course, we have to also consider on the other hand, if he has other cases that he's dealing with, those persons also need to be represented, and how we go about doing that. So, you lawyers out there, we'd like to hear from you if you want to talk about it. You can talk in abstract, or how much you feel that you can talk directly to this particular case. But what appears to have occurred here seems to sometimes confirm what some people believe is happening in terms of the legal fraternity and the quality of representation, legal representation that sometimes is delivered here in the Cayman Islands. We have to take a commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
You know who this is? That same old girl that went to Hollywood and Panama? Well, guess what? The fun ain't done yet, because this year, I'm going to country concerts in Denver. I got kick up my heels in Times Square, and I got find my way to Barbados. I got keep living the dream with Cayman Airways. We so blessed to have them. I tell you what though, this old girl's feeling younger than ever.
Make your travel dreams come true with Cayman Airways, offering international non-stop flights from Cayman to New York, Miami, Tampa, Denver, Los Angeles, Panama, Kingston, Mobay, La Ceiba, and Havana, plus Barbados. Enjoy free rum punch, free in-flight entertainment, free seat selection, and free meals on select flights. Call 949-2311, contact a travel agent, or visit CaymanAirways.com.
At Doctors Hospital, we know life happens, and usually when you least expect it. So when unexpected medical issues arise, you need quality care close to home. Located in the heart of Georgetown, our accomplished team of physicians and medical staff treat minor urgent conditions such as migraines, chest and abdominal pain, shortness of breath, burns, broken bones, open wounds, and more. 24 hours, 7 days a week with no appointment necessary. Peace of mind is important when life happens. At Doctors Hospital, we're always here just for you. Need to speak to someone? Call 949-6066.
Your dream home starts with a vision, and often inspiration is at the heart of that vision. Brand Source Home Gallery's in-house designers are here to help bring your vision to life. Whether you're remodeling or building a new home, Brand Source Home Gallery is your one-stop solution. Explore their kitchen cabinets, sinks, faucets, bath fixtures, tubs, vanities, and more. Let Brand Source's designers help and inspire you with your next project. Call 623-5000 and schedule an appointment with a design expert at Brand Source Home Gallery, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park, serving Cayman for 50 years.
Do you have a chronic illness? Are you a parent or guardian of a child with special health needs? Can you access healthcare services easily? We want to hear from you. From May 1st to May 31st, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will be undertaking a public consultation to help inform Cayman's new National Health Strategy. Tell us about your experiences with healthcare across all 3 islands by emailing mohfeedback@gov.ky or by logging on to gov.ky/health-wellness and complete the survey.
Start your day in the know. Don't miss a beat. Radio Cayman's 7 a.m. news keeps you informed every Monday through Saturday at 7 a.m. Brought to you by Cayman National, proudly serving the Cayman Islands since 1974.
For the record, with Orrett Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have several callers on hold. We're going to take the WhatsApp caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC. How are you doing?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, man. I'm good. OC, first of all, I want to give my condolences out to Captain Bothwell.
Yes.
I think yesterday, we were very good friends, even before he obtained the title of captain. You know, me and him done some building together, and when he was with Cable and Wireless, him and Captain Arlen Brooks was at Cable and Wireless right there on 4th Street, you know, and stuff like that. So the condolences to the family, and may his soul rest in peace. And also another thing, I don't know if you can dig it up. They've been concerning me even just now, and those folks that you had on there, they were saying there's so many people in the island that need health care but cannot afford to go to the hospital because they don't have any insurance. And I keep pounding this dead horse, hoping that it will come alive one of these days. Mr. Gilbert McLean, when he started this cynical, his full intention was for the poorer class Caymanians who could not afford health care. And right now, Cynical has people who can afford other insurances, people from out of the country. Let me rephrase that. People that are from not of this country but are working here and stuff, I understand, has Cynical. And many Caymanians, I have friends very close to me, their great-great-great-grandparents and them and their parents were born here, and they were born here, and they cannot get insurance, and they need to go to the hospital. I don't know why government can't put something in place to make sure that all Caymanians have health insurance. I don't know why. Maybe you could work on that for me. But it's heartening because many friends of mine say, man, I can't go to the hospital and I've got no insurance. And that Cynical is designed and was initiated for the poorer class Caymanian. So that's my thing this morning. Good to see you on the weekend as well.
But before you go, so those persons that you're talking about that can't afford the cost of health care, have they been to Cynical? Have they applied through Cynical? And have they been their application been determined?
They say they went several times, and even applying through NAU, and they go and they give the information and they never hear anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a close friend of mine right now suffering because he wants to go to the hospital, but he can't go.
But you do realize that they can't really deny you medical care if you go to the hospital and you can't afford it. They can't deny you that. So that should not prevent the person from going there. Let them worry about the bill later on, but your health comes first. They should go. They should not hesitate because they can't afford it. Go there, explain to the persons. They cannot deny you the health care that you needed. That's a part, a part of their oath that they've taken. Do no harm. Do no harm. They have to.
Okay. I'll let them know, but they say they discourage because they tell them, first thing, if you're not going to insurance, we can't deal with you.
You tell them to go to the, if they go to the government hospital, they have to, provide them with the service. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You too. Great seeing you the other day as well. Thank you for that. Okay. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Ossie. Am I on?
Yes. I didn't call your name, but you know who I was talking about earlier.
I knew that I flashed up in your mind somewhere. But Ossie, I'm really grateful that you have brought this up because it has got wider importance. But before I get to this one, I don't know how many investigations we're going to have in Cayman because I believe there's another investigation which is taking place in regard to the prosecution of the former speaker. Okay?
Oh, okay.
There was, as you remember, it was publicly reported that there was apparently some improper motives, put it that way, apparently, some improper motives regarding that. And I think it is very important that investigation be completed and there be specific findings because I do not believe that when people have been accused of certain things, whether or not those things happened or happened in the particular way in which they were alleged, yes, is relevant. But once the court process is finished, the motives of those people who were acting is very important. So as we look at this new matter, I don't think that should be forgotten. We are waiting for the governor to be able to say ultimately what the result is, because she did say actually she was looking into it. But talking about this lawyer, you see, this kind of thing has been taking place in Cayman for quite a while. Now, I know that this can happen anywhere in the world, whether you've got a good system of holding lawyers accountable or not. It can happen. But in Cayman, I think there's an added problem. There has never been an effective system in Cayman to complain against lawyers. There's never been. In fact, about a year or two ago, I made a Freedom of Information request with the Chief Justice to say how many lawyers have been complained against, because it is the Chief Justice who's supposed to consider complaints against judges. It turned out also that they were not even keeping records of the complaints they were receiving, because all I asked them was, give me the number of lawyers who've been complained against, the nature of the case, and how it ended. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the records at all. And it turned out that in the last about 10 years or so, there had been like 46 complaints against lawyers. 46. And when they finally gave me the list, by the way, they never wanted to give me the list initially. I had to go to the ombudsman. The ombudsman made them do it. And then they took another few weeks because they didn't have a record. Mm-hmm. Okay, that tells you that there is no real accountability regarding that. If I go to the UK today or even in Ontario on the website, if there's been a complaint against a lawyer, and if it clears a certain threshold, then they find that there's real substance, the matter is made public because, as you know, something being public, it is part of how you hold people accountable. So there is a problem there. It has not been resolved even with the current Chief Justice because the system doesn't work. But let me end on the one about the what the Court of Appeal judge said. I think the Court of Appeal president is, I know that it is John Golding. John Golding. He has been quoted. Yes. To me, I would say to that person directed, Sir John Golding, that he is, this is a double standard that he is applying, okay? One, he is a member of the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. That commission was found to be guilty of maladministration by the Ombudsman for failing to meet its constitutional duty to draw up rules to allow people to complain against judges, okay?
Okay.
They were found guilty of maladministration in a published decision. You go to the website, you will find it. They were found guilty of that, and yet here he is now pontificating
now,
about...
when you say found guilty, can you explain that? Because it wasn't something that was that something that was adjudicated in a court of law, or there was a finding that was made by some other body?
Okay. It was when I filed a complaint with the Ombudsman to say that the Judicial Legal Service Commission had failed to promulgate these rules for 7 years, the rules which under which you could complain against judges. She conducted an investigation. She spoke to them, spoke to me. We had a back and forth and a proper written hearing. And she delivered a ruling, which is publicly available, where she said, I am finding the commission to be guilty of maladministration because they never did that. So this is the same judge now who is saying what he's saying now. And then also there was a case which again this one was reported in the campus. There was a record deleted of an ongoing case, happens to be my case, an ongoing case. It was deleted while the case was being dismissed as being frivolous and vexatious. This is a matter I've raised with the Chief Justice, I've raised it with the Governor, I've raised it with the Deputy Governor, and up to now, nobody has told me whether these people who deleted this record in an ongoing case in order to disadvantage a litigant, whether they are going to be prosecuted. And finally, there was a judge, no name again, who I complained against. 13 emails showed that this judge was lying. That's a criminal offense. Even if you are a judge, if you are lying and there are 13 emails showing you are lying, really you should be disciplined. He has never been disciplined. I took my case to the Privy Council, lost it in the Privy Council, brought it back to the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, and this judge has been found not guilty. And as a result, I've brought now a judicial review in the judiciary against the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, and since February, I can't even get a hearing by the Chief Justice. I've now complained to the Governor, and so now there's a standoff between the Governor and the Chief Justice, because I have said the Chief Justice must not even appoint a judge to hear my case, because they need to get somebody from another jurisdiction. So this is a very big problem. It goes to the lawyers, it goes to the judges, and it is time that ultimately the governor as well as the politicians have to deal with it. A lot of people are suffering because lawyers and judges are almost immune from suit.
But caller, in this particular case, and I understand what you're saying about your case, but it's like apples and oranges, because you are a legally trained person, right? Not to say that you don't deserve the same type of accountability in terms of them being accountable, for what you're asking and what you're alleging, as well. But here is a person with no legal training, right? Obviously had to also rely on legal aid because they may not have had the financial wherewithal to afford their own defense, and apparently or allegedly being taken advantage. Well, it's more than alleged, because the Court of Appeal has made a ruling in it. That's a ruling of fact now, right? Finding a fact that this person, was not properly represented. I understand what you're saying about yourself, but in this particular case, these are the people who don't have any wherewithal whatsoever. I'm not hearing you being as critical as I would expect you to hear. I hear you drawing comparisons, but I'm not hearing you being as critical, in terms of the actions of this particular lawyer.
Well, I'm grateful, OC, that you brought the discussion back to that. I mean, my case is relevant, and therefore, because I didn't want to discuss the issue in a vacuum, but it's good that we've come back to this particular person. This is why I believe that there is need for there to be a very clear and effective and publicly known system on how to complain. Because if that knowledge had been out there, this person, for example, would not have needed to go and complain through the appeal court lawyer to go to the judge and so on, because a lot of people don't get that opportunity. What is important is that those people who do not go that far can be able just to go to an authority and complain. I know people who have heard me on radio and who have called me and said, well, I have a problem against this judge or that lawyer. Where do I go? They do not know where to go. And if there had been a system where they know where to go, probably this might have even come out before it went to the Court of Appeal. So I agree that there is need for the government to ensure that the legislation is changed, to ensure that the publication of the remedies that people have and where they can go. This should actually be available on the judicial website, as well as if SILPA has got a website, it should also be available there. And so what we should remember also, and that's why I'm grateful you brought this up, it's because there are a lot of other people, common people out there who are suffering but do not know where to go, and they've never had a chance to have this kind of exposure. Yep. It is for government and the governor to do.
Got you. Okay, thank you very much for that.
Thank you, Ofi.
We're going to take a commercial break. We still have a few callers on hold. As soon as we return, we will take those calls. Don't change that dial. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Since March 2004, West Bay Pharmacy has kept their doors open to the local communities, even before, during, and after Hurricane Ivan. At West Bay Pharmacy, our staff provides so much more than pharmaceutical excellence. From the moment you walk through our doors to completing your cash out, our staff will have put your healthcare concerns at ease. We would like to take this moment to thank our loyal friends and customers. To us at West Bay Pharmacy, our patients are our primary concern. We provide thorough background checks and precise calculations to ensure your medical safety. Thank you for being a part of our family and for choosing West Bay Pharmacy, where we care about your health.
Hey K-Man, this is Pastor Elsony Banks. I want to invite you to come out and join us on Saturday, May 18th, 2024 for March for Jesus. I remember those events from years past, and I'm so happy we're doing them again. So join us on Saturday, May 18th, March for Jesus, celebrating our Lord Jesus Christ.
For more information, visit Christian.ky and click on the March for Jesus tab.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money Transfers to Financial Institutions, making life easier.
Ladies and gentlemen, have you heard the news? Digicel is back with exciting offers that are too good to resist. Activate one of our brand new prepaid or postpaid plans today and experience telecommunications like never before. With more data, dedicated entertainment options like Netflix, YouTube, Spotify, and endless social text data for all your favorite platforms. Digicel is here to make sure you stay connected and entertained. Whether you are on a prepaid or postpaid, you will also enjoy dedicated roaming data for the USA, Canada, and the Caribbean. It's all about value, and Digicel has got you covered. Social media, X, formerly Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Interact with our talk shows on YouTube. Download our official Radio K-Man app, or you can log on to our website, www.radiokman.gov.ky. You can also add us to WhatsApp
on 925-3261.
All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Radio K-Man.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. Going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome.
Morning, Ofi.
Hey, morning. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm listening. No. I called in a couple weeks ago about because I'm sure that the lady is actually working in a salon. 99% of all salon workers, beauty salon, and then are on work permits. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay, now we start. Now from the right. Thanks. So the lady got legal aid, right? She was defending herself. She got legal aid, or now she had a lawyer that was rude, very rude, corruption. But he wasn't in the Cayman Island, the heart of corruption. We are the king of corruption. Now, you brought it up, the judiciary brought it up. It's just like with Nikiwa Bush when they stacked the decks against him. Now, this lady stabbed somebody, headline. Nikiwa Bush touch up somebody, headline. Elvis from Nikiwa now, listen carefully, gets on the Facebook, stands up for a young Caymanian and a visiting tourist. And remember, I just heard you say that this poor lady is not a lawyer. Well, poor Elvis, no weed, no vote, is not a lawyer.
Right.
He's a lawyer.
Uh-huh.
Good. No, the DPP, the prosecution, what are their titles? Lawyers?
I would say, yeah, those that are other than the support staff, administrative staff, they would be lawyers, yes?
Okay, all learned people. So, all of the people that set my case to court was lawyers from the government side.
Yeah, the DPP would recommend as to whether or not a prosecution should take place.
Okay, good. Now we're on the right page again. Now we'll see, my people in Cayman Brac and the Cayman was denied the right, one of the most fundamental rights you got to a jury trial of your peers. Remember you were talking about that a couple days ago? It didn't have to be a scientist. I hear him talking about the Trump case. You don't have to be a lawyer. You could just be a carpenter or a fisherman. Now, our government lawyers stacked the deck against me, denying me a fair trial, denying my people, Cayman Brackers, Caymanian, to listen to my case and judge me was denied, right? So, technicality, because I had a very good lawyer, Samson Law, very good lawyer, Ms. Plattner. Good. Now, if that woman wasn't on the top of her job, if she was a corrupt lawyer like the one with this lady, I would have been ringing bells and not what. You understand? But what it is and how it is that anything that happened to the local Caymanian that telling the truth, it don't get no highlight. Well, especially if it's Elvis McKeever. You know, and I've learned that. And this is real. I live in this. Now, why are those lawyers that tried to jail me for speaking the truth? I know ain't nobody called and say, that should be investigated. That should be looked into. But I know I get you now.
Can you remind us of the outcome of your case?
It was thrown out on a technicality.
Okay.
So that means that they was wrong because, look, you know, I was talking on Facebook, you know. I wasn't hiding in the bush. So I can't deny what I said. But it's how I worded it, because I'm sure a lot of people still got it recorded. and all they said was the gospel truth.
Mm-hmm.
And you can still believe it. Everything I said on that tape, it's going to happen. It will happen sooner or later. Because everybody, if you speak the truth and came on, let me tell you something. Don't do eat the supper, man. You don't reach your supper. You eating your breakfast. But you know, when we drift away from the truth for so long, when you drift away from the truth for so long, it's hard to find your way back. So, I will leave it like that. I will be persecuted forever for speaking the truth. But that, I will die doing. Oh, see, you have a nice day, my brother.
Thank you. And it was a pleasure talking with you as well. You take care. Hope everything goes well over there in our sister island as well. We do have another caller on hold, I believe, but we are going to take our last commercial break. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money transfer card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers, a compounding story.
I don't think people realize how pain creeps into your life. It has a way of robbing your strength. I really don't like taking prescription medication orally.
West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. They understand.
When it comes to compounded medication, it's personal. So whenever there's a problem with some medication or treatments that's not working right, then a physician will call me and say, hey, they're having bad side effects from this medication.
Compounding pain cream changed the game. Made special for me. Significant pain relief in the form of a cream. That is a new experience for me.
It's changed his life.
It worked.
Ask your pharmacist or healthcare provider about compounding at West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Call 914-6449.
Can you imagine your home completely organized? At Brand Source Custom Closets, we can. We specialize in designing and building custom closets and storage units for any room in your home, including the garage. With tailored designs and custom LED lighting solutions to fit your lifestyle and budget. Our custom closets expert is committed to enhancing the value of your home with a solution that is uniquely yours. Visit our showroom or call 623-6774 to schedule a no-obligation appointment with our design expert. Brand Source Custom Closets, 209 Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park.
Rotary District Governor David Cacaldi, First Lady Christina, the Rotary community of the Cayman Islands, the people of the Cayman Islands welcome Rotary District Conference 2024 attendees to the Cayman Islands. 14 countries, over 10 islands, over the Northwest Caribbean, an intersection of service above self. Rotary District 7020. The fellowship, the innovation, the service to community, to the region, to the world. Welcome District Conference Cayman 2024. Rotary, create hope in the world.
This is Sherry Ebanks, and I work in the financial services sector. I am concerned about how climate change is affecting our beautiful beaches. Sea level rise and changing wind patterns are worsening the erosion of our beaches, and warmer temperatures are causing more sargassum to reach our shores. When our beaches are degraded, our tourism sector and the livelihoods of Caymanians are put in jeopardy. To learn more about the climate risks to our islands, visit www.gov.ky/climate change policy.
With Orrett Connor.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We have about less than 12 minutes left to go in the show. 2 callers. We're going to make those 2 callers the last callers as well. We're going to take the WhatsApp caller first. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, Mr. Connor.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
I don't know who this is, but I'm not going to identify myself.
Yeah. Haven't heard from you in quite a while.
I've been sick for some time now.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So sorry.
Yeah. I was looking at the newspaper. It has here this organized crime here in the island with this drugs coming in here and over $1 million of cocaine wash up on Cayman beaches in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, years gone by, you would always hear that the cocaine is being burnt or the gang is being burnt. And I can't recall the last time I heard of anything being done in regards to this drug that's coming in here. Where is it going and who hands is getting into once the police, get it in their hands? Where is it? Where is the drugs? $1 million of drugs in the last year in the Cayman Island for a small island. What's happening at our borders? We don't have no watchdogs up there. But I don't want to answer because I can't talk long.
Okay.
And I just want to say that I see where I see the NRA putting the speed limit signs engraving or pinning them into the roads of our streets here in the island. Oh, see, we're doing that. We have put up so many signs here and there for good driving on the island, indicators, signs. A little bit of everything, asking for extra caution on our roads. And seems like nothing is working. And when the government got to go to this extreme to put all of these things on our streets, we look to be like a bunch of illiterate people living here on this island. When it comes to road signs and speed meters and the speed meters, there's no need for them. They can't pick up anyone and they can go and read and say, well, my car just crossed it. I was doing 50 miles an hour and come and give me a ticket. Well, I don't know what the purpose of having them. But I just want to say this morning, I heard them talking about people, asking people to come in and get their license plates updated and so forth and so forth. I don't know if it's going to finish this month. I don't know. I think this month's already practically finished. More Saturdays in this month.
Yeah.
How much longer is going to go on for? But there was cars on the road this morning with old license plates on their vehicles still. I mean, when you come out here on the roads, it feels like you're not even in the Cayman Island.
Yeah.
It's like you're not even living here. And all of this that NRA government is doing for the roads to try to keep us protected, it's not working. They need to interject into the license department to see what kind of score these guys are getting to get a license. And the license should have something on the back of it stating majority what all those signs are mean when they come on and see them on the road. They just driving and don't give a hoot about nobody's else. But I just want to say that I've been wanting to talk about that for some time.
Thank you very much, caller, and I hope that you start to feel better soon, and we can hear more and see you up and about as well. We will keep in touch.
Bye.
Okay. Let's grab the next caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling from Cameron-Breck, complaining about Cayman Airways.
Okay.
I got the doctor's appointments for this Thursday from last Friday, but I can't get on the plane. The plane is always full. But still I complain about losing so much money on the break run. I would like to know how can I lose money when the plane is always full.
Mm-hmm.
It can record a lot more people than what they think got on it, And everywhere you go, there's a lot of people now. They say 2,200, but it's probably 35, 4,000 people here in a day of the week. And everything is getting is overcrowded for everything, and Cayman Airways got to understand, which I know the Honorable Brian was talking about getting bigger planes. But you need to really don't talk about it. You need to get it. I know they hard sell them or subs because nobody don't want them, but you need to get a bigger plane, 6, 7, the seats plane. Leaving the break 8 in the morning, leaving around 6 in the evening, come back, and then people got time and can all get time to get through the doctor appointments and whatever.
How often does the jet come to Cayman-Brac? How often during the week?
Just on Fridays. Mostly on Fridays unless on holidays. Yeah. Of course, come through Miami and then go in the Grand, but I don't have people going to the doctor on Saturdays. You know.
So if you had a doctor's appointment, let's say for Monday, then it would mean you would probably have to come from Friday to be here.
Yeah, but you have to stay overnight. Yeah. And then you got to pay hotel and everything else, you know. So nobody wants to do that, you know.
Got you.
So you know, and the planes are always full. You need about 2 weeks to really book it in advance. I need 2 weeks to really get on the plane and get back in the late flight. The two something flight is mostly open, but you can't get through your doctor appointment, get to the airport and catch that flight. You know. They got two stops. I guess this gonna get in trouble. It takes two to make one. I guess so. There's only one running. I guess I don't know. I presume that, you know. But it needs more flights in the evening, 5:30, 6 o'clock, leaving Grand, so people have time to get through the business.
Okay, got you. I'm sure that those people are listening. That are responsible of listening, and hopefully something will be done to address the situation, you know, as well. Okay, thank you very much, caller, for that. When the minister was last on the show, he did talk about that as well. Do we have no more calls in, right? Okay, so I'm going to go back to the caller before the last caller and touch on a few things. She spoke about the issue with the destruction of drugs. And there was a time when when destruction took place that it was publicized. It was, of course, you know, we still have print media. We probably have more print media than we had before. And those things were publicized. Now, whether or not there's a strategic reason why the destruction of drugs is no longer publicized, of course, Cayman Islands getting more and more dangerous, you know, as well. And someone knows that you're going to be up there destroying drugs. They may decide that, you know, let's make a move and try to intercept or interrupt what is taking place and take the drugs as well. We do know that when it took place, there was always a justice of the peace or someone from the judiciary who was there to witness the destruction as well. Not sure whether or not that is taking place. We also heard the caller talk about the frustration in relation to speeding. And I get her point, and I would just add to that to say that it's appears to a certain extent that what the authorities are trying to do when it comes to traffic offenses, in particular to speeding, is to try to use the carrot rather than the stick approach in terms of enforcement. What do I mean by that? Is that you post the signs, you put them where they're visible, you put them that they're seen so frequently that it helps to remind you what the speed limit is. This may be done in preparation for what may come in the future, which means that you have no excuse, because if it is posted on the road signs, the signs that are vertical, and then you have it on the road surface as well, then when you stop for speeding, you have no excuse in terms of, well, I didn't know what the speed limit was in this area, because you have, in some areas, 3 ways of knowing what the speed limit is. The monitors that are placed on the roads that light up and tell you, the speed signs that are erected, that are sitting vertically on our roads, and now you have the speed limit signs that are placed on the road surface as well. So there is no excuse whatsoever. Yes, people want to see more and more enforcement, and we have heard the senior officers within the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service speak about the fact that the roads, some of our roads where speeding takes place doesn't allow for them to be able to pull speeders over, because when they do that, then they are obstructing the area of the road where you could have bicyclists or even other vehicles as well. I would say, though, that in a rebuttal to that there are very few jurisdictions in the world where you have some place designated for you to pull people over if they're speeding. And while there are dangers involved in pulling speeders over and not having any space for the users of that particular lane to continue on, that it presents a danger, that in itself should not be a reason for not having a physical presence on the road to stop speeders and to ticket them as well.
Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient.
Sorry about that, folks. Wasn't leaving you without saying goodbye, as well. So, yes, we need the enforcement out there. I personally still believe, despite the fact that we see, so many tickets being issued, we know the police can't be everywhere, but I still think that we could put more emphasis on dealing with the speeders and those persons who drive recklessly on our roads, endangering all other road users as well. So with that, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman, and by extension, For the Record, into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and their sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk Today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record, proudly brought to you by
Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury, and JN Money.
From abroad to yard.
Fast, affordable, convenient. Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And now, Barbados. And Digicel, Cayman's bigger, better network. And March for Jesus. 18th of May, visit christian.ky for more information.
One radio station. Radio Cayman is the voice of the Cayman